BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a quick look at these charts then, shall we? So we'll do the broader markets second, because I appreciate it's a later video than usual. My car's broken down at the moment, which means I have to walk kids everywhere and walk back. So everything just takes forever now. Right, so let's think about what happened with Bitcoin yesterday. So we broke down now, looking back at this, we can see that there was the lower high that we were anticipating generally anyway. It was front run ever so slightly on that 50 exponential. We were looking for 28,500. We got basically 28,158. Fair enough, but it did form a lower high, and then this is something we've been thinking is probably the most likely scenario, given the setup we've got with broader markets as well. And again, you know, we can see just nothing more than a death cross retest over here on the 4 hourly. So it wasn't anything shocking, to be honest. It was exactly as expected. And if we have a look at what happened yesterday, it was a strange one. We got what's technically, I would say, known as a liquidity grab. We had this big spike up for everything. We spiked up to 27,600, and then that was it. The shorts stacked, and then we lost all these areas, and then that was it. Invalidation, wasn't it? Below 27,100 is what we were saying yesterday, and you can see how nasty it got. Just looking at this 15-minute chart, as soon as we lost that area, all the way down, and now we've been sitting sideways, and probably have a little bit of a bounce now and continue with our direction lower. Now, as for the lowest targets and where it's likely to go from here, I think it's reasonable to imagine we do head down below 25,000, 24,345, which is basically a horizontal area of significance where these previous tops were, also these tops over here. That is pretty strong in all fairness. It's highlighted also by the bottom of the Bollinger Band. We do have bullish divergence so far, despite not creating a brand new low so far. So if we can see that, then yeah, I don't think this will, you know, crack too much lower than this. And going back into what I've been saying for a very long time, looking at the volume, which is pretty much, you know, I mean, it's still massive volume compared to what we used to trade at. But in comparison to the beginnings of this humble bull market beginning, it's nothing. It's very small. And so with that, we should think about where was it that the volume was at its highest. It was when we started the first initial portion of the uptrend, when we hit down to that FTX low, and it continued to have high volume and peaked around 29,000. Now, I'll be looking at this as like as a general area between 20 and 25,000 as like a golden pocket, and a place where we should think about allocating some serious capital back into Bitcoin. Now, I haven't bought any more Bitcoin since we hit that 21,500. That was my main huge bid. 20% of my available funds, trading funds, went into Bitcoin for the long term on that one. Serious amount of money, to be fair. And I've not been willing to buy any more Bitcoin until we start to see lower prices. If we do see lower prices, we might not even see them. But it's starting to dollar cost average below 25,000 for Bitcoin and all his altcoin friends. Again, no altcoin is created equal, but I've got a few that I'm quite happy to pick up at these lower prices and continue to buy lower than where we're at right now. Stake those things, baby. Just stake them if you can. And so yeah, I'm looking for nothing more than opportunity the lower we go, especially for Bitcoin. But you know, Bitcoin is like an indicator for the entire market for the most part. And this is nothing more, as far as I can see, a carbon copy of the previous market cycle. Bear market, crunch all the way down, big rally up, sideways consolidation, lose the plot, wiggle around sideways. And as I've been saying for the guys on the Patreon and the girls, sideways for Bitcoin, for the most part of this market cycle, will meander between 20 and 40,000. 20 and 40,000, 100% area of accumulation. And at the moment, you know, we're getting closer to the bottom portion of that accumulation range. So why not take advantage of it while you can? And that doesn't mean you have to buy right now, obviously. The lower we go, the better it will be. But generally speaking, that's how I've seen this entire event play out. And it doesn't, you know, things haven't changed for me. It still seems the same. 20,000 to 40,000 seems reasonable. That doesn't mean you should hold out for 20,000. but it just means that, as far as I can see, is the equivalent of the previous bull market's range, which is roughly between 6 and 12. We were sideways at 6 and 12 for a couple of years. That's basically what we were. So I think we'll be sideways between 20 and 40 until the bull market really picks off and goes mad. Late next year, 2025, huge gains should be seen for the most part as the market cycle repeats. Right, so that is your Bitcoin for you. A couple of altcoins that I picked up, just so you know, I let everyone know that I bought it at $6. I'm basically still at that level now, so I bought it basically where we are right now. Not saying that that's the best area to buy it from, but it is. And I picked up some more Atom today as well. So nothing has changed with that. So now let's have a look at I suppose S&P, which actually looks quite good, to be honest with you. Daily's looking good. I think there's a golden cross formed on the 4-hourly now as well on the exponentials. Yes, there is. That doesn't mean that we go straight up from here, but it does look good. Definitely looks good. Oil, again, slightly concerning price at 84 now. Doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to continue, but based on what I look at now, if it's left to the charts, I would say it probably will continue. Fresh golden cross on simples and exponentials. So that's just the divergence of moving averages with a cross above the 0 point now on the MACD. So I think we do trend up higher, and the next target is going to be the lower 90s, 93 or so. And that is going to feed the CPI read, which will spook the markets even further. So the rotation from stocks to commodities hasn't exactly happened, but there has certainly been an increase in commodity prices. Gold as well, breaking out above its descending triangle, which, although it hasn't completed yet, does look quite good, does look quite bullish. So again, I position myself in gold and mining companies like Glencore, which to be fair hasn't really felt too much of an upside. But getting out of stocks generally and into commodities was my bet about 4, maybe even 6 weeks ago now. I've been sitting in these things for a while, waiting for this, what I believe to be a rotation, and this could just be the confirmation of it now as we're breaking out on charts above support, above resistances. A quick look at the Dixie then. So the Dixie again, had a decent bounce, golden cross retest, and now we're looking to probably break out from the 4-hourly Bollinger Band center. Taking a look at the daily, you can see that we're above all major moving averages really, and a view to move up to 105.25. It still looks good to me, and I'm not gonna ruin the party for the dollar bears or the dollar bulls. It's just it is what it is. But I don't think we'll go too much higher than that. I think a rejection from here is most likely, but we'll see. But again, everything moving exactly as expected. When we're talking about the higher term time frames, which is my bread and butter. This is what we're getting, and this is what we're seeing, and it shouldn't really take us by surprise, really. The 15-minute chart can be fun, but really my main analysis remains the same. So, in summary, we're looking for stocks to peak, we're looking for commodities to rise, we're looking for dollar to rise, we're looking for Bitcoin to move down, slow dribble down, even though I expect a bounce today, probably to take us just below 27,000. Doesn't have to happen today, but before we head absolutely lower, a move up towards 27,000-ish area, the upper $26,000 is probably more likely at this stage now, just on a dead cat bounce formation. But yeah, a little lower down, and again, it's nothing to be afraid of. This is where we buy more down at these levels, especially as we start to move down below 25,000. So this is the beauty of it, right? I know we can always do futures trading and trending moves, but if you want to allocate yourself decent positions for investment or medium-term trades, this is where we start doing it. When we see red, and everybody's flapping around going, oh, blah, 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 blah. Listen, it was a buy the rumour, sell the news. We said that on the Patreon. It sounded relatively pessimistic when I was talking about it on Tuesday night. We're doing a stream tonight as well, by the way. I said, but it's very likely that this is just going to be sold off and faded. And it's happened very quickly, and altcoins have come down lower than where they started from, for the most part. Not all of them. I mean, the Tomo is still doing pretty well from the entry point, but for the most part, they're wrecked city, really. And all of this was to be expected. So I sounded pessimistic last Tuesday. Now I'm going to sound relatively optimistic because we're back down to where we started from. We're likely to go a bit lower. And if you want to see the bigger gains, you buy at lower prices. And this is what we're being offered. It's right in front of our face. you going to take advantage of that or not? It's sort of completely your call, but I know what I'll be doing. I've been waiting for this. The lower we go, below 25,000, is an absolutely epic time to think about scooping up some of that Bitcoin for what is likely to be a complete carbon copy, rinse and repeat market cycle. We're roughly around this area here, give or take. And we'll be looking for something like this to take place again. So it doesn't seem all that bad. And again, everyone wants to get rich tomorrow, but really, getting rich in like 2 years' time, you know, that's a 21st century problem, isn't it? I know that's not what they call it. It's a first world problem. Complaining about, you know, making hundreds of % gains within a few years. If you're going to complain about that, that is an actual first world problem. And really, you should have a word with yourself. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll see you on the live stream tonight. It's the beginning of the month, so a good time to buy into the Patreons. £7.50 a month, 2 live streams a week. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.